Welcome back to the Black Ice. Now, this game's been out for about 10 days. I've probably played 4 days on this game. I've been grinding because I want to play skater and, I got my goalie duties. I've been also playing a lot of goalie. Now, last game, I took a long amount of time at the end of the game just playing skater and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and trying to piece them together, see what EA wants to do for their builds. And I pretty much had a handle on it, which is why it's not taking me as long as it normally would to figure out the best build in this game. So these videos are going to be long. They're always long. The first one's always long. You can skip to the end and see the build if you want. But I usually go through explaining things. That way you can make your own build. So let's get right into it. All right, so this is where we start. We usually start every build with a stand-up build. Because as much as the game loves the hybrid, and real-life goalies are hybrids, stand-up is just built for the way that people play in the game, right? We usually start with stand-up, and this is your typical stand-up build that I would build right off the bat, just to see if things changes, what works, what doesn't work. That way I can get an idea of what's going on. And then I'll start, changing things around with the height, the weight, and all that. And I've tried every one of them. There usually isn't a difference between, like 6'3" and 6'5" in most of the games. It's just about how you play. But in this game, there's a significant difference between 6'3" and 6'5". So I didn't have much success at 6'2" because I kept getting sniped in certain ways. But now that I know what I know this far into the game, I might go back and try 6'2" because certain things fell ways that I didn't think they would fall. So the point of it is we go through and we test each category. We test it. I'm horrible to start the season, the game, because I'm testing things and people don't want to play with me anymore because it's not. All right, so this is the way we go through it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you the category, right? I'll explain the zone abilities and all that, what's needed in a different video, but I'll explain to you the categories and then I'll show you the build that is the best build in the game. No, hands down, the best build in the game. There is no argument with me on this. It's hands down the best build in the game. If you're in the Discord, you'll be a little bit shocked. So the height matters, at least in the beginning it matters. Weight matters just for you to get attributes. It doesn't really affect the way you move like it used to. Neither does the height. So it all matters for attributes. The height matters because I've just had more success with a 6'5" versus a 6'3". There used to be no real difference. The zone abilities, all these zone abilities matter. All of them matter. All of them work. All of them work like they're supposed to work. It's different this year. So whichever one you pick, base it on your play style. What you want, what you need help on, what your team needs help on, because they work, they matter. These secondary ones actually add something to your guy. So not like the other years where we couldn't figure out if they did something. No, they actually do something this year. The first category, the low and high, I couldn't quantify if they really did it. I never noticed any difference in if they actually helped you save depending on the number. I've played with it at different numbers and it doesn't matter. Typically, I will just put it up because it's there. But I've played with everything at -5 and I've still gotten the same result. So it doesn't matter, but these categories don't really, what do you want? Passing? 5 holes always been manual, so it's like, who cares if it's -5? -5 in like 2-3 games ago used to help you with better animation. It doesn't help you with better animations. It doesn't hurt you with higher number. None of it. I couldn't tell you that any of it actually mattered. And so I'm like, all right, I play some games with it negative, some games with it high, same results all the time. So this first two categories, put whatever makes you feel good. That's all it comes down to. I'm gonna skip over and go to the positioning. Positioning matters to an extent, right? Not to an extent, it matters greatly actually. Rebounds for a stand up is really bad. Like they used to kick to the corner. The lower you put them down, they used to kick to the corner, and it used to be out of danger and not for people to pick them up. This year, no matter what I set it to, it puts it in dangerous places, and you have to have good enough recovery or reflexes of your personal self for it to work. So rebounds this year actually matter on a stand up. So we can't just put it down to 76 or 78 like we used to. Just not gonna work. Um, vision important. Breakaway important because there's a lot of breakaways in this game, and you want to turn the tide. And it does breakaways when you have higher breakaways. It does increase your ability to save the puck. It actually increases your ability to save the puck. It's not just like you guess the old games. It used to be whatever. If you went in the right direction, you can save it. Even if you go in the right direction, this year you'll still get beat if you don't have a decent enough breakaway. Angles not important unless you use instinct. And recovery highly important too. When you do that save animation, you go down and you hit the ground. The getting up part is the recovery. That's where it's important. Now I skipped over the quickness because this is where the build is. This is the importance of the build. This is where your lifeblood of every build lies. This is the most important category. You guys know I've hated agility for many years, and speed has never done anything. Because of the way they've done movement in this game, this year I have yet to find a build or make a build that I can drop speed down and or eliminate it completely and the build still be good. Speed has all for me what it seems like, and I haven't played enough or seen it happen enough, but it happens all the time with the computer. You speed, he'll get down and butterfly and not get five hold as often with higher speed. Agility and speed, they actually your guy moves differently when you put them below a 85. When you have the those two numbers, I used to go what 84, 878 on speed, 84 on agility because that's how I liked my guy to move in the old games. I can't do that anymore. And that tells you how different the game is this year. If my guy feels horrible, horrible in movement without those two numbers at least at an 85. Um, Durability and endurance is the lifeblood of these builds. I couldn't tell you that low and high glove and stick made a difference in you saving the puck. The number didn't really make a difference, but the um, the difference in durability and endurance definitely made a difference in how you save the puck, how you attempted to save the puck. When your energy was about 70% gone, you were vulnerable. You didn't save things you were normally saving. Your guy was doing weird animations. Once it got red, it's unless you squared up the puck, you're screwed. Most of the times, you're screwed, especially if the guy has some shooting at. So durability and endurance are my top two traits, the top two um, whatever attributes this year, and I by far the top two. So now that I've explained all that, I'm going to show you the build. Right, this is my favorite build, and if you're in the Discord, I know I'm a huge proponent of the stand-up build, and I stand-up build is really good, but it cannot touch this hybrid build. This hybrid build is far and away the best build in the game. And I mean the best build in the game. all the animations pure. He keeps his health longer, so all of them are pure. He's able to see and breakaways. I'm good on. Recovery is already there. Rebounds for it acts the same way as rebounds used to for the stand-up. It's just a really good build. Now, I would much rather the 1T perk in this category here, and the butterfly perk I don't affect. I'm not in butterfly that much. And if I'm in butterfly a lot this year, you're gonna get sniped. But post to post is so good on 2-on-1. I mean, so good on 2-on-1s, and D to D one timer, so good on D to D one timer. Showstopper added with durability and endurance just makes your build 10 times better, because when you're tired, at least you still get that good animation, you still get that good save motion, you still get all that. So that Showstopper is a must. Whatever you add as your trait here is up to you. I add no timer because the game is just full of crazy one timers. But Showstopper, you must have. Now, obviously, I wanted to max out durability and insurance, so these two must stay here. This is the best. You will see once you use this, all the discords will get a hold of it. All of the players you see, all of them will be running a build similar to this one. They can build it their own way, but I promise you, this is the best build in the game. That's it. And it's a hybrid. You know I hate hybrid. You know I don't like hybrid. But I've been on a tear with this build. I mean, I've been destroying people with this build. So this is it. I'll do a different video explaining all of the zone abilities and which ones I rank in the tiers and all that. Right there, like I said, this video is all. This is the longest video because I like to go through it so that way you can build your own or get creative on the way you play, what you need here and there. It's been Black Ice. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.